So this game is called Knockout, and to play Knockout you need 2 dice, 2 checkers, I'm using bottle caps, and 6 of these little gems. They're like little glass pieces. You need 3 of 2 different colors. So I have 3 red ones and 3 blue ones. So there's 2 players in Knockout. Each player needs to roll and see what number they get to determine who rolls first. So one player rolled a 6 and the other person rolled a 1. That means green gets to go first. That means they get to shoot first. So blue has to roll to determine how many times they shoot for their next turn. They get a 5. Now that they've rolled, a third party takes 1 checker and all 6 gems and puts them on the table. Okay. So now player 1 is going to be green. Player 1 has already determined that they're going to be red. So now they roll to see how many times they shoot. And they shoot a 3. They roll a 3. So that means they get to shoot 3 times in this round. So you play the game by taking your red gems. Green has the red gems. And you shoot them at your opponent's gems. And what you do is try and knock the opponent's pieces off the table. So let's say red, for their first shot, shoots the bottle cap. My piece went off the table, so I lose a point. So let's say it knocked the bottle cap off the table. Then my opponent loses 2 points, I gain 2 points. So I get 2 points for that shot. Now let's say I take one of my red gems and shoot it off the table, but both pieces fall off. That means I lose a point because my piece fell off, and I gain a point for knocking my opponent's piece off. And let's say for my third shot, I managed to knock his piece off, or their piece off the table, and mine stays on the table. Then I gain a point for knocking their piece off. So I rolled a 3, I only get to shoot 3 times, and now it would be the next player's turn, so the table gets cleared and the game is repeated. But let's say I had more times to roll, or to shoot, and I managed to knock this dice off the table. That means my opponent doesn't get to play their next turn. They skip a turn. But if my piece goes off in the process of me trying to hit that dice, it doesn't count. So they still get to play their next turn. So if I knock the checker piece off, that's 2 points. If I knock one of their gems off, that's 1 point. If I knock a dice off, then they don't get to play their next round. But if my piece goes off the table in the process, it doesn't count. And the same with knocking the gems off. If your gem goes off the table in the process and while you're hitting their piece off the table and both go off, then you don't gain or lose any points. It's just neutral. So the game goes on for 10 rounds. That was 1 round. Basically all the pieces are collected and it's done again. The game goes on for 10 rounds, and the player with the most points at the end